can be the heroes on the Wheaties box. With a little kitty toy.
Hey everyone, Justin Crumley here with the Cujo Productions channel. Welcome to another edition of The Film Cave. Today we're going to be talking about The Thunderbolts. This was directed by Jake Schreier, and it stars Florence Pugh, Wyatt Russell, Lewis Pullman, Hannah John Kamen, Sebastian Stan, David Harbour, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. The team of anti-heroes find themselves banding together after a huge threat rears its ugly head. This is, of course, the latest addition to the MCU, and before I go into my thoughts, my opinions, I will say ahead of time that I was actually somewhat excited for this film. I know as of late the MCU has not really been at its peak. It hasn't really been the greatest, and I'll be the first to admit I wasn't a huge fan of Captain America Brave New World, but I was always somewhat excited for this film. There was just something about it that looked really good. I'm a huge fan of Florence Pugh, so maybe that was part of it. I like David Harbour. But I wasn't really a big fan of the Black Widow film, so there was just something about this. I don't know. This could be enjoyable. Was it enjoyable? Yeah. Yeah, actually it was. This film was more than enjoyable, actually. I thought this film was a pretty good time. And a much needed win for the MCU, in my opinion. This film handles themes that I certainly did not think it was going to handle. It handles themes of mental illness, depression, regret, how to live with all of this, how to move forward despite having such a gruesome past. Was it perfect in the way that it handled them? Probably not, but these are some pretty heavy themes to tackle, and I thought they were handled pretty well for the most part. I don't think it was as good as the first Guardians of the Galaxy film, but it is kind of in that vein where you have a bunch of C and D-list characters that are kind of coming together, being featured in a film that gives them more development, shines a spotlight on them. Pretty much every one of these characters we've seen in previous films, except for Bob, which I'm just going to say right now is the Sentry. That's not really a spoiler. I think a lot of people know that at this point, but Sentry's the only character in this film to not have appeared in a previous film or TV show. He is a character that is making his on-screen debut, and honestly, he's one of the best characters in the movie. Without giving too much away, he is the main villain of the film. It's a bit hard to explain. And I think the metaphor that they did with his character was actually really good. The symbolism was there. The themes were tackled, I would say, pretty well. And as far as MCU films as of late go, this is probably the best one to come out in a long time, in a while. Now, do I think the MCU is back? No, not really, no. I think it's going to take more than one good film, and honestly, I really like Daredevil, Born Again. I would say, in my opinion, the MCU is slowly starting to make its way back, but I don't think it's 100% back yet. And this film itself definitely wasn't perfect. I don't want to make it seem like it was a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination. It did have some flaws. I do feel like some characters, namely Ghost, was a bit underdeveloped. Though this movie really made me care about Yelena, and it made me like Red Guardian even more, even though he's a bit of a comic relief character. I thought he was really funny. David Harbour is a great actor and brings a lot of charisma to the role. And overall, I thought the Thunderbolts as a whole was a pretty solid film. The mid credit and end credit scenes were pretty awesome too. And what this film does that recent MCU films have not been able to do, it makes me excited for what's to come. I am really excited for the Fantastic Four film that's coming out now. I've been kind of defending that film probably more than most people, so maybe I'm a little biased in that, but nonetheless, the Thunderbolts does make me excited for what's to come, which is more than I could say about most recent MCU films. It might not be the best MCU film ever. It might not be a top 5 MCU film, but it's good enough. It's a good time, and I think you should go see it. Alright, guys, that's all I have for you today. If you guys have seen Thunderbolts, be sure to let me know what you thought in the comment section below. And until next time, I'm Justin Crumley, and this is Cujo Productions saying, stay awesome.